Guys, the cool part is, sorry again about my voice, but back in 2021, I think it was February or March, a little bit after my grandma passed away, when she was watching these type of movies back and forth. Like the other one was not, I don't know if it was a Cinderella story or something. I think that's what it was called. And they literally had somebody's name in there that they called Bryant, which is my stepdad's last name that I have because they had him adopt me for my mom had him adopt my other brother and I and have his last name. And those movies were clues. So really quick, I just thought about one time when I walked into Fred Meyer when I was just on a bike. And I could have sworn that the guy who plays in this movie, I saw him walking in the Fred Meyer store. At least it was someone who resembled him. But when I woke up, um, a little bit before my grandma died, actually, it wasn't after she passed away. It was like a week or two, no, about 2 weeks before she passed away. I woke up and I was sleeping upstairs in the room she used to sleep in the bed. And I think, no, I wasn't pregnant anymore. My son, I think, was in the room with my mom, sleeping. That's so cool. He got to sleep with them before they left. I used to have the pictures. I'm kind of sad because the phones that these people stole from me, they had those memories of my family and they're back during the times when I thought things were a lot better than they actually were. And the cute pictures of my son here was spiky, and I made him have a spiky mohawk. He was so tiny and so cute. He's still a cutie. But anyways, this movie, I was wondering if this movie was a clue to how my life was gonna become eventually. And several times I've gotten the yes card. Like one day I would find a man and then get a house. And it's funny because one of the things I actually wanted to do was create something where women and children, or yeah, it's mostly women and children, if not whole families, but women and their children or their nephews and their nieces could be housed somewhere where I created like a, you know how they have gated communities, but a community where I have some programs that pay for, excuse me, for the housing, and I pay their rent and everything for them for like a year to give them time to get back on their feet. And some families I might do it up until, no, 5 years is a bit much because then people can tend to get comfortable and take advantage of that. So I was going to do it for at least a year. They don't have to worry about anything like, I was thinking about covering everything, including the food, but they should be able to supply their own food, especially with government benefits. So, but they won't have to worry about paying like their utility bills or anything for rent or anything. They just get to stay there for free, and the children get to live in a normal neighborhood where it's not hood and too ghetto, where the children get into trouble, and then they have an opportunity to raise their family properly. I had that idea since I was 12 years old, and I used to write songs when I was 13 years old and sing them. So I had dreams and aspirations that my family probably noticed and other people like them that were around me. That is one of the reasons why I've been blocked and stopped so heavy, because of my intentions towards the world. I was a selfless person back then. I cared about other people genuinely because I thought it was practicing the love of God, but of the Most High God. But that's what propelled me to make this video, is because um, I don't know. I just, let me see. This guy right here. He 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 got her this house. Like, it was the family house, but they fixed it up and they turned it into like a children's and women and children's shelter type thing. And I realized there's some significances about I don't know if that's a word, about the things that I've gone through, especially through two organizations that portrayed themselves to be a certain way, like to help people, but if anything, I know those people took some sort of bribe from a gang stalker, or so whoever set up this gang stalking crap. The way they all turned on me and my son, on my son and I that's why I was gonna set the organization up in a certain way where even after I passed away, only certain it will be structured in a way where it's monitored. Like even if somebody tried to switch it around, it'll be generations and generations long after maybe my children's children had passed away. That's how tightly knit I wanted to make that organization, where there was no it wasn't easy for like crooked people that are of a certain character that would easily fall short and you know, break down and take a bribe for something to undermine some other person in the company or the families that are reside within the organization. And I've been wanting to do this for quite some time. That's why I speak out about the not the discrepancies, but the mistreatment that some of these people do, but then they go out in public, like the guys that I spoke out about, they're acting like they're people that's out there to help, but they're out there scamming and taking advantage of people who are actually upright, for lack of a better word, I guess. Upright people who are honest, who are um people who are of integrity. The individuals I call out are people who have come against me for years, and they didn't stop. That's why I speak out about it. Whether it be a whole year up until 10 plus years. That's why I spoke out on it, because it was my way. Instead of me going to do other stuff, rather me instead of, well, I haven't sued anyone, at least not yet, but I spoke out on it as like a way to wake people up, to let them know like there are people out here who realize when they're being mistreated or unfairly, unnecessarily, and we didn't do anything to you. We can see how you're being crooked based off of the way you're treating people who didn't do anything to you to deserve to be mistreated the way you're treating us, like trying to undermine people and set them up so they can lose their job, and then we be the ones looking like we're failures. But all along is nitwits like the morons that I've listed in other videos that are a big part of the reason why we're looking like we're a lame-o. And that's how they want us to look. They want us to look exactly how they are, and they look in the way we deserve to be looking into the public, rich wealthy people, and they want to keep us down. And that's how I know a lot of people out here that's looking a certain way, that's acting like they're people who are trying to assist you and set up these programs, but they're actually laundering money that they've scammed, and they want to get up there and pretend that they're somebody positive that you should follow after, just because they worked on their body, did hard work working on their body, and they have fancy cars and they look a certain way, doesn't mean that they're an upright individual. And I've come into for many years, I've run into so many people that have abused their position of authority. And that's why I speak out on some of the things that I speak out about, and I do so boldly because I'm utterly disgusted with it. And like, we all die, we all have, essentially we all exit from this vessel that we're currently residing in, this land, this earth that we live in, our skin. We all come out of it. It's like material. So like, why fight over this stuff? Like, we all I feel like people should develop the mindset of knowing you can't take what's yours, the stuff that you buy, you can't take it out of with you spiritually. So you might as well not even do stuff to risk your life. Like, basically what I'm just saying, like, there's still repercussions that you have to face even outside of your vessel for the things that you do in the physical realm, and people don't take that into account. Neither do they hold themselves accountable for the actions that they choose to take. They be like, oh, well, this is normal. People, this is what it is, man. Scamming is the name of the game. And playing off and wash the money. This is how it goes. Not everybody know that. Oh, and then the ones that they scam, they see us as the dummies. Yeah, because we were trusting your punk ass. You're in a position of authority that's supposed to be a trusted individual. It's up to us to like have discernment and see clearly who you really are. So, and since I'm tired of this shit happening when people are getting over on certain people and then want to make fun of people about it, I'm calling them out so I can help people see faster, see more clearly what the fuck's really going on. So yeah, in this movie, I didn't watch it on Lifetime. It was actually on Roku. I was sleeping, just like one time when I was sleeping, and I woke up and I heard this beautiful song. Oh, I can't really sing it because my voice, but you guys know what song that is. That was from the good Taylor Swift. I don't know what's happened to her now, baby. Just like with Miley Cyrus. Miley Cyrus was all right. Next thing you know, you see them shift to their demonic form. Like, baby, what didn't happen to you? I seen Taylor Swift. I was like, oh, that ain't the Taylor Swift I know, baby. I would have never that, and I didn't hear country songs for a good while. Huh, somebody trying to do fraud on my account. But anyways, I already had a sense. I already figured they was gonna try something. That's why I turned my purchases off. But yeah, that's crazy. I missed that though. Those days because it used to be so peaceful. And when I woke up and I heard that song, I'm trying to remember the title, but y'all know that Taylor Swift song. All you gotta do is hear that first part, and you know what song it is. Some. Do do do. It was my raspy voice. I usually can say it good, but when I heard that song, I woke up. I was like, "Oh my god, that sounds so beautiful." And then I looked and I saw it was Taylor Swift. That's the first time I ever seen her song. But nah, I recently saw a picture of her, baby. I'm like, what they done did with Taylor Swift now. They didn't turn her to a witch. A dark one. Um, not offense like I'm a hater of Taylor Swift. Hell no. Um, but anyways, I just thought about Kanye West looked like he was mad about something that he's the reason that Taylor Swift is who she is. Well, don't be mad about it. Sure, we'll talk about that later. Put on. But yeah, guys, this movie was actually a really wholesome movie to watch, and my grandma passed away exactly the same way the lady in this movie died. What's her name? Loretta Devine. Yeah, we used to watch a lot of movies with Loretta Devine. That's what happened when you have a mom and a grandma, and they both died together too. That's the crazy part. Like a month and a half apart from each other. One was in her 70s and my mom was 50. And I was like, damn, I hope I don't die when I'm 50. But now that I see what's been going on spiritually, now I know why my mom died at the young age that she died. Even though physically they'll say it's because of something else, but there was something spiritually that manifested into the physical realm of a reason for her to die. Like she had a seizure, but there was spiritual aspects to why that happened. Or and my dad said she had a seizure. She had a seizure as well. My grandma, I don't think my grandma even had a seizure. Um, I remember I came in the ambulance and I saw three ambulance people. They were doing something, but my grandma's eyes was rolled back and she was foaming at the mouth. And they sent gang stalkers to me talk about some foam at the mouth because they thought it was traumatic. Well, I'm like, bitch, do you know the fucking job I had? I done seen death plenty of times, nigga. I already know what it looks like. I know when somebody's about to die when they're on their deathbed. I remember I had just went to go check somebody's blood pressure, and when I left out of there, he was dead. I was like, God, please don't tell me I'm like the Reaper, because that happened a couple times when I had just left out the person's room. They passed away, but because and the only reason I know is because the door was open. The person was looking at me. I thought they were looking at me, but they died. I was like, damn, it was kind of traumatic a little bit because seeing all that death randomly. And then one time they tried to me go take the temperature of a man who was super cold. I went to go take his temperature in his ear thinking he was sleeping, and he was already passed away. And I was like, in his temperature, he was really cold, so he had been passed away for quite some time. And that's a story I'll talk about later because the nursing home actually tried to hide that man because I'm not sure if he they didn't fire me, but I left because I saw how they were being critical for stuff. But yeah, I know the truth about a lot of stuff because of my experience and the stuff I paid attention to, and I was always that person that wound up being somewhere at the right time. Well, for some people they'll say it's the wrong time, but I saw some deep shit at times. I just always happened to be around there, and sometimes I got video footage of shit, and that's why they took my phones because I had too much footage of so much stuff. That's why I was orchestrated spiritually and physically to put me in a psychiatric hospital and take my shit. Why the fuck do you think the psychiatric hospital psychiatrist didn't even say I was diagnosed with some sort of mental illness, like indefinitely? They just said I got a psychotic episode. It wasn't a fucking psychotic episode the way they tried to say it. And they weren't even paying attention to me. That's why I have zero respect for most public officials. Some of them are upright. Those are the ones I am respectful to. But anyways, back to this Loretta Devine when she passed away as the that of I forgot the name, Miss not Miss Naomi. My grandma was passed away that exact same way. Her head was laid to the same side on the bed, the same way they came and found her in there. And that's the way my mom took a picture of my grandma looking exactly like that in the hospital. And I was so devastated about my grandmother about to pass away. I never went to the hospital. I don't know if my mom went to finish the job now that I think about it, because I wish I would. At some looking back on that situation, I wish I would have went to the hospital because then I would have been able to stand up for her and say something. Like if something was wrong, I would have been able to speak up and say something. That's why I'm so boisterous the way I am now, about speaking out on things, because I regret that. For many years, I was like someone who didn't speak up for myself at certain times when I should have, and for others, like my grandma. And even though, she was elderly, if I saw something wrong, I would have said something like, no, why are you doing this? Why can't you? And people hate people that do that because they want to get away with doing the wrongdoing. But I'm the person who's there, and I hold you accountable for what you're doing, because many times people tried to hold me accountable for some shit I didn't even fucking do. So that's why I have this attitude that I have. And I'm tired of it because a lot of the times it was actually my same ethnicity of people doing the stupid shit. And they were always talking about what white people were doing. Fuck that. Yeah, we clearly see everybody got their wrongs. It's not just white people, and it's not just black people either. It's everybody. And so that's why I knew this movie was a clue, because another thing I wanted to add, the important key part to this, I was about to show the cards, but I don't have it on the screen where you can see me and my phone screen. So at the time I was listening to Spiritual Advisor, and one of her readings said something about somebody about to pass away. As soon as she said that, within 2 weeks, and she said a time frame about 2 weeks, that resonated so heavily with me. I remember I was standing in my parents' garage. I used to go in the garage and like sing praise and worship songs back then. At the time, because that's what I knew. And I used to literally, with my heart, pray to God and ask for forgiveness. And around that time is when I had asked God to, um, on behalf of my entire bloodline, ask for forgiveness for the family, because I saw so much wickedness and toxicity. So that's what I was around the time I did that. But I also ran across, because, and it was only because of some other karmic female that was about 10 years older, between 8 and 10 years older than myself, maybe 6 or 10 years older than myself. I saw the choices that woman was making at her age, and I didn't want to be 36, 38 years old. So still being the way I witnessed her being with her several children. And I didn't have any kids at the time, and she's the one who introduced me to tarot reading. Like 2 years prior, no, back in 2018 or 19 is when I was introduced to tarot readings, and I was watching it ever since. I'll go into more details on another video of like how that all came about. I spoke about it before on another video, but that video was quite long. It was probably like 40 to 40 something minutes to an hour long, or a little over an hour. And that's why I try to make the videos like no more than 30 minutes, because the people's attention span, I try to get some messages out there that may be helpful and informative to people as possible. And but anyways, because I saw how that tarot reading that was telling the truth about what I was getting ready to do, and that woman came and showed it to me, it was basically me leaving her and her kids and going on my own, going somewhere else or something like that. And came and she just played it on her phone, and I was listening to it. She came and sat by me for that reason. And then I saw, I was like, damn, them people know exactly what the fuck. I was like, well, shit, she know what I'm about to do. I ain't hiding shit. And I still got the hell up on out that motherfucker too. But then because I think they were trying to organ harvest me, because an ambulance was always staying at the hotel. I've never seen that in my life. And that hotel was off Katy Freeway, right across from a funeral home. That's why I was like, nah, this is some setup vibe type shit right here. The energy just felt really bad. And then another woman came over there that she already knew in Texas. They wanted to get me to Texas first. And there was this other woman that I watched on YouTube. I think she was given when she shared her story, it was almost like her story was a warning to me to not go to Texas. But I took my ass anyways, because I thought maybe I was just reading too much into it. Man, oh man, that's why I'm paying attention to this movie here. See this lady, that part that you saw her by the bed. One day, Denise, I forgot her last name, start with a B. I forgot. But it's the lady that was also on Medea with her, that played in the movies with her husband, that played a security officer on one of the Medea movies. But yeah, and that was supposed to be the cousin. And this stuff that they show in movies, like this fighting over a stinking house and shit, it really happens in people's lives. Like, it's absolutely disgusting and ridiculous that families do that to one another. It's almost like they're blood relatives that are strangers. The way they act like they're strangers that don't have not an ounce of blood related to each other. But let's see. This guy here is a man that looked exactly like this dude was walking in Fred Meyer, and I almost walked to him and said, "Hey man, are you the guy that?" And he stayed in that aisle like he knew that I was watching him, because this movie happened to come on. I'm like, did this man know, at some time in our lives, that somebody out there in the world, it's like he made this movie, but maybe he didn't. I don't know, because celebrities be watching us, man. I would not be surprised, but it freaking, I just thought about it, and it just kind of blew my mind, because I was like, what are the chances that these people know? Because they make movies, even movies that don't say based on a true story. A lot of the ideas they get for so many movies come from things that actually happened in real life that somebody has witnessed, and it wound up being a story that was told, and somebody made it a screenplay, and they put it out as a movie because it was an interesting story, and they make money off of it. Maybe they might tweak it, the story here or there. I just wanted to share that, because maybe it will help someone else realize they're not crazy if they see a movie that resembles something in their life. Like that movie called Reading, before it came out, I already knew, because of the things I was going through in my life. It was revealed to me that they was going to try to come out with a movie to scare people about tarot reading. So like the people that are super religious Christians will become more terrified and be like, see, that's why you don't mess with that kind of stuff. But yeah, and there's more to it too. And then next thing you know, the stuff I was actually going through at one point, I said I know they was gonna try to make a movie out of it because of something else that was shown to me. That movie called the Truman Show or something like that. That people were talking. I was like, what is the Truman Show? That show like sound like something I would never watch. And then when they started saying what the movie was about, I was like, oh, that movie's the Truman Show. I think I don't know why they call it the Truman Show. But if it's the movie, I think it is. And I remember out of the blue, that movie was just playing on the TV in the hotel that I was staying at when I was at it was a shelter place called Family Promise. And those people were gay stalking the F out of me over there. They had the children being a part of it on purpose too. At 11 o'clock at night, having the children running around barefoot, riding on scooters and stuff. Like, who does that? And then they wanted to try to call CPS on me. That's why I know they full of shit. CPF, DHS is full of shit. The police is full of shit. Then all y'all nosy ass neighbors is full of shit too. That hotel, Pepper Tree Inn Hotel, y'all ass is full of shit too in Beaverton, you dumbass MF. All y'all niggas got a motherfucking pay cut. That's why other families was moved out before me and my young son was the last one to go, even though we were there before some other families that had came in there. That's how I knew they was doing some fuck shit. They kept leaving shit by my room door. The ladies that were the cleaners there, they kept being filthy and leaving trash and like cleaning our shit with dirty stuff. Cleaning the toilet and everything with dirty stuff. That's why we had a fight. No, don't freaking call me. I haven't hurt that dude. Don't fucking call me. I don't want to talk to nobody. I'm talking about anybody from my past. Because that was a African dude named Alex. I don't want to hear from him. I already found out who he is. I haven't heard from him for so long. It's the dude I know for about 8 to 10 years from Ghana, West Africa. But yeah, anyways, it's true. Well, by that phone ring, that's confirmation right there, y'all. These motherfuckers was nasty in Beaverton. I could go there right now and curse their ass out. But why would I do that? That was like over a year ago, like a year and some months ago now. Since that stuff happened almost 2 years ago. Because we moved here June, July 20, and I think June was our last month in that hotel in 2022. Oh yeah, I forgot. It's now the beginning of 2024, and it's already almost halfway through at that. The time just spit the F up. I'm just tired of all this foolishness, people doing this setup vibe shit. And the thing that really made me think about this movie is because the OG pimp that told me that cameras are screws, like some of the screws in our house are cameras, his son looks like a buck-toothed version and a slightly cracked out version. He's a Navy SEAL, or not a Navy SEAL, but his son is in the military. He's mixed, and he married this white woman, this Caucasian woman, and he showed me a picture of that woman and his son, and he had his son talking shit about me, and I know his son don't like black women because of the man that Daniel Riley is. And he also was with married. He had a baby with a Caucasian woman, and she died somehow, which was kind of strange because the way he talked, the way Daniel told me about it, I was like, it's kind of suspicious. But and basically he be romance scamming Caucasian women, but they fall for it. So what can you say? Um, anything. Anyways, that guy was talking crap about me with his dad, Daniel Riley, the OG pimp of Portland, and that son looks just like him. And I thought about how I was asking God for forgiveness for saying I hope him and his wife get divorced because of the shit that he told his dad about me being some evil witch or something like that, because of some stuff that happened to Daniel after he mistreated me wrong. And then Daniel came and asked me for forgiveness because all of a sudden, after he did some fuck shit, his biles got twisted in his stomach somehow. He had to go have an emergency surgery. If he had waited another hour or two, he might have died if he didn't hurry up and just go to the hospital. And for some reason, he felt led to come and ask me for forgiveness. And then that same night, or the next night, shortly after that, is when I made that first video on this channel about how it all of a sudden clicked and dawned on me that those men that were waiting to try to get me to the psychiatric hospital were trying to traffic me. And because that I didn't allow them to successfully do it, they set it up for me to have to be put into the psychiatric hospital. They did all that shit to fuck with my psyche and drive me crazy, and then call the cops on me once they got me outside from fucking with me inside the apartment, to call the cops on me and make me feel like, and have them put a medical hold on me to put me in the psychiatric hospital and take my son. You think I don't want to fuck those fucking Portland police bitch ass motherfuckers up? I'm out free now. If I was that goddamn stupid and crazy and like a lunatic and I was actually that fucking psychotic, I'd wait for one of them motherfuckers at the damn district, the precinct, and take action. So apparently I have more fucking sense than they do. Them dumb bitches, the shit that they fucking did. They think I forgot everything. I remember every fucking thing that happened. Well, just about every fucking thing that happened. These people have been playing with me for years, and I was sick of it. That's why I have developed this backbone that I have now. It's about time. So, anyways, the son, Daniel Riley's son, resembled the guy that was playing this guy. I forgot, Mr. something. I haven't watched this movie, but I just went to it. The man who plays this character, I can literally go type his name up right now on here. But as soon as I get off this video, I'll type it in and I'll put his name maybe in there. But I happened to find this um movie on Lifetime. So, I mean, on YouTube, recorded from Lifetime, and somebody put it up here just a year ago. But the first time I had seen it was back in 2021. No, 2022. The beginning of 2022, shortly before my grandmother passed away, after Spiritual Advisor LLC Tarot Channel said something in a reading about somebody, a feminine or mature woman or something like that about to pass away. And it was so true because my grandma passed away like a week after that, and I was so distraught about it. And then that's when things started going downhill, and then more truth started getting revealed in the family. And then they tried to get my baby, and the actions that my family were taking, they started acting very strange. They was starting to come up in the room too much, looking at me, checking. They was trying to play it off to act like they was checking on my son, but I knew very well what the fuck was going on. They thought I was just as dumb as they ass was. That's what it was. Not sorry to call y'all that. At the time, y'all was acting like some fools though. Like the shit you really thought I was as dumb as, just because you think I'm that as dumb as you guys actually were acting like you were, doesn't mean that I was. Just because I didn't speak and say much doesn't mean that I was stupid. More so mute than anything. I was just observant. So yeah, hopefully this video helps you guys and to realize that a lot of things really aren't a coincidence. Because back at that time, when the Roku movie would be on, like the screensaver, when I wake up at times, certain movies would be displayed across the screen, and it was like those things were giving me messages. That's how I read situations. I didn't have any cards. And my uncle told my mom one time shortly before she passed away, it was like Janae was in there doing something with some tarot cards. I never had tarot cards. That was a lie. It was tarot readings. That's how I know they was scared, because they knew that they was trying to talk about me like I'm in there doing witchcraft all along. They were the ones doing dark magic. I mean, dark witchcraft, black magic, and not just having candles and doing a seance, but like doing stuff like putting my name in water bottles and putting it in the freezer. I saw when that was happening from one of my sisters or my brother. Oh, I accidentally said my brother. I was meant to say my dad, but if it wasn't my dad, it had to be that sister that went to that party learning about the people that were doing witchcraft parties and stuff. And then she switched since she got kicked out of her church. I guess she started delving into witchcraft with her friend. She was invited to a party and told me what they were doing and still went anyways. So she's the one who probably should have been concerned, but because she was one of the favorite children that was had not out of wedlock with my stepdad, that's why she could do no wrong, even though she did some pitiful shit, even hella disrespected my parents, our parents. And they didn't do shit. Let me do the small, slightest thing. They taking the door off the hinges like I'm a child. Dude, I was 29 years old. What the fuck? Come on now. That was childish just doing that shit. I was the one at least in the house doing work around the house outside, growing the grass back, doing remodeling around the house. Still helping to provide in ways that I could, like food and other stuff. Man, never mind. I'm gonna start remembering their nasty ass attitudes that they was having at times, and then the silent competition. You could tell because the shit they was doing. Oh my god, I'm starting to remember that stuff. It was. I'm so glad I'm not there anymore. Thank you, God. Thank you so much. I'd rather be where I'm at now than to have gone back to that place. All right, I'm out, y'all.